Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. I think we do have a tradition now with this opening meeting, an address, and before we adjourn and move over into a rite of passage for our new first-year students. But I wanted to maybe have a little bit of a different flavor because this is a special day and a special year coming up with the celebration of our 50th anniversary as a university. And we have much to be thankful for. So first off, I want to recognize that we have three board members. Current chair, Kate's in the back. Kate, thank you for being here. And current board chairs and current board of trustees and former board chairs. We have Dottie Johnson. And Lucille Taylor. It's also special to kick off this day and this year celebrating the 50 years in the past, but also the relationships we have now beyond this region, beyond this state, and beyond our nation. We have delegations from three of our partner universities here, from Ghana, from Poland, and from Taiwan. Each of these individuals requested if they could join us with three greetings from their universities. I invite them up to the stage right now.
Good morning to all of you. Okay. Thank you very much. I bring you greetings from Ghana, and especially from the publics of the University of Cape Coast, beginning with our council, our students, our faculty, and our staff. We congratulate you on your 50th anniversary. We want to thank you for inviting us to join with you. You are only 2 years older. We promise to catch up with you in 2 years' time. And we invite all of you to come to Ghana and celebrate with us. Thank you. Congratulations. God bless.
Good morning, President Haas. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a great honor and pleasure for me to convey to you the solemn address signed by Professor Roman Niestrój, Rector of the Krakow University of Economics. He has written, Mr. Thomas Haas, President, Grand Valley State University, on behalf of the Senate, the Rector's Board, and the entire academic community of Krakow University of Economics, I wish to extend my sincere congratulations on the 5th anniversary of Grand Valley State University. On this ceremonious and spectacular day, I wish to express my deep respect for the great achievements recorded by your university in its 50-year history. I also wish to express my gratitude for 35 years of partner cooperation between our institutions. We are very happy and proud of the fact that we may treat you as our partners and friends. I am very grateful for all common undertakings aimed to improve and modernize the teaching process as well as research potential. Congratulating you on your hitherto achievements, I wish to express my hope that Grand Valley State University will continue its operations in favorable conditions and that your staff and students will successfully meet their future challenging targets. Signed by Roman Niestrój. Thank you.
and from Taiwan.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Good morning, President Haas, my honored colleagues from University of Cape Coast and from Krakow University of Economics. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy to be here. On behalf of our President, Guo En Zhang, we're deeply honored and pleased to be here to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Grand Valley State University. In the couple of days that I've been here, I have been seeing this wonderful story of success, and it's our commitment to further the collaboration between your wonderful, esteemed institution and our university. And it's our great hope and honor that we will further our partnership to the years ahead. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you very much for the tribute. And we do appreciate you taking time and cross many miles to be here to celebrate this great university. Thank you again. And we will see you at convocation here shortly with our students. I have two things I want to do before we get started. And I'm going to go ahead and read this and then read another letter that I received. And this entitled Grand Valley State University. It says, whereas since 1960, Grand Valley State University, GVSU, has been educating students to shape their lives, professions, and communities through excellence in teaching and public service. And whereas L. William Seidman, a Grand Rapids businessman known as the father of Grand Valley State University, gained community support for an independent, state-supported four-year institution of higher education in West Michigan. And whereas the initial enrollment of 226 students, Grand Valley State has grown to over 24,400 students from a multiplicity of different backgrounds and is dedicated to incorporating those voices and experiences into every aspect of its operations. Whereas doubling the number of graduates in the past decade, GVSU has strengthened Michigan's workforce for the 21st century, meeting the needs of a global economy by offering rigorous undergraduate and graduate programs in many different disciplines. And whereas meeting the current needs of its faculty, staff, and students without compromising the needs and resources of future generations, GVSU has created a statewide impact through its services, scholarship, and research as an essential contributor to West Michigan's economic growth, activity, and job creation. And whereas fostering its connection with the West Michigan region, GVSU works to nurture the habits of intellectual growth in its students' curiosity, as well as the love of knowledge, and its applications through research, artistic expression, engagement with the local community, and scholarly activity. Now, therefore, be it resolved that we, Jennifer M. Granholm, Governor of the State of Michigan, and John D. Cherry, Jr., Lieutenant Governor of the State of Michigan, do hereby offer this certificate of tribute to Grand Valley State University in recognition of its 50th year. We offer our congratulations to GVSU for its many years of academic excellence. And another letter, a little bit more personal, but truly, in my mind, embodies Grand Valley State University. It says, Dear Mr. Haas, I wanted to share with you a recent incident concerning GVSU and one of your employees. My son played in the basketball shootout on your campus June 25 and 6 as one of the 41 school teams which were in attendance. Sometime during the games on Saturday, my wallet slipped out of my back pocket on one of your bleacher seats, and I had no idea it was missing until I was all the way back home in Lansing late that afternoon. I called your DPS and left my contact information, hoping it might be turned in if found, But with the hundreds of kids playing and all the people who came to watch it, I didn't think my chances were very good in recovering my loss. Although there was no cash involved in this wallet, it did contain my driver's license, 3 bank credit cards, my Blue Cross health card, a Sears card, and also, it's important, a gift card from a chain of restaurants which was clearly marked as having a value of $100. Much to my surprise, within 2 hours after reporting the loss, I received 2 phone calls. One from your DPS department, the other one from my Knights of Columbus co-member, who both reported my wallet had been found by one of your custodians, Mark Westrip. The small inconvenience of driving back to receive the wallet was nothing compared with the headache and time which we would have been involved to replace and deal with the banks, the Secretary of State, et cetera, and getting the 2 cards back, probably including Sears. The wallet and the entire contents were handed back to me intact! Exclamation point. I would hope this report would be included next time Mark comes due for an evaluation as the... I thought that would be good. As the honesty and integrity he displayed was exemplary. He could have chosen to take advantage of a situation without anyone being the wiser, but he chose to do the right thing and not fall prey to the temptation. I feel very fortunate that this person, out of all the possibilities, who found my wallet, and I hope you would feel just as fortunate to have a man of this caliber in your employ. The final part of the story is the fact that my oldest son, Nick, who has been accepted and will start this fall as a freshman in your honors program at Grand Valley State University. Knowing he's surrounded by individuals of the caliber of Mr. Westbrook speaks highly, very highly of your campus and the entire staff, and makes me that much more comfortable in sending my son into your care for the next 4 years. Thank you for your time, and keep up the good work. I asked Mark if I could read that, and he said, sure. I said, would you like to come to this meeting? He says, I got work to do. But he did go on and say, you know, Dr. Haas, it would have been anyone at Grand Valley State University doing the same thing. And boy, it does not ever make your heart feel good when that is the values that we hear and have at Grand Valley State University. In fact, it is all about each other, and it's all about our students. And that, to me, resonated so well and really put an exclamation point on my 4 years of service here at Grand Valley State University. So let me get started. I got a couple of maybe fun things to do and a couple of things that will have us think a little bit about the future. But again, I'll say good morning and a Happy New Year and a happy birthday. And thank you for being here as we begin this event of this academic year. For me, this is, in fact, always an exciting day. We have new colleagues to greet, we have new students to meet, and we have new students to seek, new facilities to seek. And this is, again, a special milestone, as I said, 2010, the start of a 50th year. And none of us would be here today. Indeed, there'd be no Grand Valley if it wasn't for leaders in our community back in 1958 who embarked on this journey, very daunting journey of creating a public university in West Michigan. For their dedication and for their success, we can't thank them often enough. Names like Bill Sieben and Bob Pugh and Paul Johnson and Arnold Ott and Dick Gillette and others all could see the need for developing the talent for West Michigan and beyond. So we will celebrate this 50th year, the legacy of those who have come before us here in this room. And it's going to be a year-long celebration. We kicked it off with a picnic indoors, inviting our community leadership and alumni to the event on Tuesday night. We'll continue here this morning. We'll continue with convocation. We'll continue throughout the entire year where we have the activities of the year, put a little stamp of 50 years on it, the Fall Arts Celebration. I think you'll even see probably a 50-year logo on the football field. You see it wherever you go. And you'll hopefully see it on lapel pins. You'll see it on letterhead. But it really is a joyous year to be here. So I'd encourage you to check out the website, because month after month there will be activities associated with our celebration. And it's just gvsu.edu/anniversary, and you can see the myriad of activities that really denote the quality of Grand Valley State University through faculty, staff, activities, engagement with the community. It's all going to be there for you. And we'll wrap up the celebration in June, because it does take us a year long to celebrate this milestone in our history. Well, this is a day of new beginnings, and I want all those here in the audience attending their first Grand Valley Convocation late this morning, could you please stand? Welcome. Welcome to the Grand Valley community. Thank you very much. Now, if you can stand, those that are returning, faculty and staff, could you go ahead and stand, please? Everyone. Wait a minute, stay up. Okay. This is, we have to do a little exercise. I'm on this kick now. Okay, do a little running in the morning. Okay. For those that have been here 10 years or less, sit down. That's pretty good. How about 20? Go ahead and sit down. How about 25? And sit down. Let's see, 26? 27? Okay, 30. Okay, 31. 32. 33. 34. 35. 6. 7. And please introduce yourself to everyone. 30, how many years? 42. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see over here. Okay, you have to sit down. Okay, I still see a couple. Okay, so we're at 35. Shell's still up. 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. Okay, bye. Okay, I see two people now, right? Got Shell and Check. And we'll leave it with both of you. Fantastic. Okay, so 42 and 41. You, 42 years. Let's see, who was born 42 years? Oh, I won't go there. Should we have everyone rise on that one? Thank you for starting with some smiles. But it really is. So let's go ahead and get started. What I'd like to do this morning, a little bit different than the last couple of years. I'd like to have us look back a little bit, look forward a little bit, and look inward a little bit this morning over the next 30 minutes or so. Looking back where we got started and how far we've come. Looking forward, what kind of legacy will we leave Grand Valley State University? And looking inward, what can we do personally to help launch our students for their future lives as we kick off these next 50 years? Well, looking back at the beginning, Grand Valley is a remarkable story. No story that I have ever experienced in my time in higher education, and no other school in Michigan with this type of history. It's a remarkable story. In order to obtain the charter to create a college in West Michigan, the founders had to find $1 million. And Matt McLogan reports now that that probably would be the equivalent of about $24 million today. So the governor says, I'll challenge you. If you want to have this happen, let's see $1 million. And in 9 months, they got it. It's the start of a public-private partnership that continues to nurture us today. And they raised it. And they raised it. And then, once they raised that money, then there was challenges yet to be overcome. Finding a location, developing the facilities, explaining the dream, and attracting students who would share in that dream. And I think if the founders realized how hard that might be, maybe they wouldn't have embarked on that journey. But they did. And they had others join with them through the years on that team. And then we were able to attract the students. In fact, now we can boast over 75,000 students from Grand Valley State University in its first 50 years since chartering. That's a remarkable, remarkable statistic. And with over 50,000 of them living and working and contributing to this region in West Michigan. And also those alums include the former President Palau. We have our international guests here. We've made those connections beyond just this region. And the current ambassador of Russia. He's one of ours from Muskegon. And of course, we have teachers, and we have bankers, and we have health professionals and nurses. We have those in the military, in the business community, and not-for-profit sector, and on and on and on. These individuals are making a difference. And it was because of the legacy of just a few back in 1958 that did have a dream of Grand Valley State University, and that strength of a public-private partnership that continues to nurture us today. And I think we need to recognize the courage of those first students. There was 226 that came here in 1963. I understand talking with them, we had more mud than anything. But there was this dream. And there's names like Eileen Bittnall DeWitt and Diane Payton, the first student, met her husband here, Don. And I've always wondered about that. How many of our students meet their partners and spouses for life here? And I bet you there's many of those. And now through those 50 years, we have children and grandchildren coming here to Grand Valley State University, all in a short period of time. That took courage. Not a single degree, not even accredited at the time. And as equally impressive were the faculty that came here too early on in those years. Art Hills, Glenn Niemeyer, Marvin DeVries, John Tevebaugh. Those are just names out of our past, some continuing to contribute after these 50 years here at Grand Valley State University. It took bravery to do that. They gave up positions at more established institutions. But to them, I think we owe, without a doubt, everything as they set the standard for excellence that has allowed Grand Valley to prosper. So if you see Art, I saw Art on Tuesday night. He was out on the dance floor. He was having a great, he said, I went up to Art and I said, Art, this is what you built. And he couldn't be prouder. Same thing with Glenn and others. That's what it's about. It's about building on that legacy, on that dream, and on that vision. And creating the standards of excellence. Well, the incredible growth, enrollment over the decades, especially the last two, is testimony to that foundation of academic excellence. Academic programs that are great quality and are relevant to our future and to our students. And many of those academic programs weren't even considered 50 years ago. They weren't even invented at the time, but they have been, and we continue to be responsive to the needs of our community and our students. I believe fully that the strength of that statement comes from the strong faculty governance that we have here at Grand Valley State University, and I applaud our faculty leaders in that regard, bringing us to this point of continued high standards. I thank you for that. We have grown in enrollment. We've added programs without we could not add these programs without offering rigor and relevance and quality. And this enables us then to attract great students who achieve retention and graduation rates at the top of Michigan public universities. In the past 10 years, as noted in the resolution from the governor, we've doubled the number of graduates that attend graduate school or enter the workforce, most of those practicing their professions here in Michigan. This is a remarkable return on investment to our donors, our taxpayers, our students, their families, and the citizens who live in the communities where our campuses are located. Every day, Grand Valley touches hundreds and thousands of people right here in Michigan. And this kind of success draws attention to Grand Valley State University, and lots of it over the past few years. Princeton Review calls us one of the best in the Midwest. U.S. News and World Report, we're in the top 10 regional public universities in the Midwest. That's number 3, and we're still in the top 5 of an up-and-coming university in the Midwest. For 14 years in a row, we've been named one of America's 100 best college buys. We're in the top 25 of the nation's greenest universities. For 7 years in a row, we've had the nation's best Division II athletic program. The Kellogg Woodrow Wilson Foundation selected Grand Valley State University for developing teachers for high school STEM programs. And I think in part because I always added an A to STEM. It's called STEAM. And from Grand Valley, that's what you get. You get the energy to fulfill those promises to our young students. And there's many, 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 many individual and faculty and staff accomplishments over these years. These accolades and many others are a reflection of Grand Valley's strength and stability. When I speak about stability, I mean it in every sense of the word. Financially, academically, in enrollment, in the dependability of our graduates, and in our contribution to the economic health of Michigan. I don't think Bill Sieben and others would believe this, but just this past year, when we look at the amount of economic impact in the Tri-County region, it's $644 million. I don't think they could imagine. But we've built this strong and stable base together. And in fact, I got one other, I've cut this out of the Detroit Free Press. I talk about stability. It really isn't, especially in times of uncertainty. This editorial from just a few days ago, it dealt with GM. It says the new CEO must focus on stability. More on that in a little bit. But I thought that resonated as I was writing my notes down, my outline down, back in July. The couple that achieves the 50th wedding anniversary has most often succeeded in crafting a great partnership. And that's what we've done at Grand Valley State University. With the boards, with the GVU Foundation, faculty and staff and administration working together to ensure the success of our students. And our stability, no doubt in my mind, is the result of the public-private partnerships and the confidence that nurtures and sustains Grand Valley State University. Prospective students have been rewarded that stability is becoming part of the Grand Valley community. Later this morning, when I greet our new students, I will tell them how proud I am and we are that they, who could go any place to college, chose us. And I think in part because we do provide that stability here for them to achieve the success and a future for them that is bright and optimistic. In fact, when I think about the students we're attracting, the profile is remarkable. Chick, you know that. You see it and work it every day. We get students yet from every county, correct? Including Ontonagon. 2 of them in Ontonagon? Hope they're returning. They will. If not, you and I are going to go get them. I wanted to see the colors early. But also, this is interesting too. Again, I don't think Bill Sieben and others could see this, but we're seeing it now because of the global nature in which we are operating. Nationally, we do attract from 42 states. And internationally, we attract from 72 countries. There's no doubt that with many here in this room and beyond, we've enhanced our stability by developing a strategic plan that aligns us behind a common understanding, common goals, and core values, such as our commitment to liberal education, to sustainability and inclusion, and have measurable outcomes for all the goals that we've established, moving us ahead to 2015 and beyond. This kind of stability is essential if we are to continue meeting the needs of our students and now and into the future. With a stable base, we have the flexibility to innovate, to seize new opportunities, to shape our future together. Which brings me to my second theme, looking forward. Yogi Berra reminds us all that predictions are difficult, especially if they're about the future. The only thing we know for sure about the future is that it will involve change and adaptation and our ability to lead and adapt. Our ability to lead and adapt. Our founders envisioned a small, non-residential liberal arts college that would serve mostly commuters from Holland, Muskegon, and Grand Rapids. My, has that changed? But that's how we were launched. And while liberal arts and superior teaching and active scholarship remain at our very core, we have grown in ways unimaginable by those who were here on day one. From a single campus with only, I think there was 5 academic buildings, we've grown into a university with 5 locations, relevant undergraduate and graduate programs, a rich student life, state-of-the-art housing, enviable facilities, important research activities, and centers of excellence like the Johnson Center and the Hallenstein Center. That kind of change takes confidence about the future, about our ability to shape it, and our proper role in it. In Michigan today, higher education faces what could well be an enormous sea change. Our population is stagnant. We're producing fewer high school students, and not enough of them are yet not choosing to go to college after graduation, if they graduate at all. And if they do, many are choosing community colleges to start their 4-year degree. It may be that some of those current high schoolers don't really yet understand that the days of a low-skill, high-paid job are gone forever. And we also have simultaneously returning veterans and adult learners for the desire for a degree. The other night I was under one of the tents with the commuter students, and I saw what you would think were the traditional students coming here, commuters, and there was a couple, a little bit young, probably just a little bit younger than I. And I went to the group of students, and I thought that these were a couple of parents who found their way for a free hot dog or a hamburger. But that was my impression. I went by and I said, "Hi, I'm Tom." And they said, I said, "Where are you from?" They said, "Coopersville." I said, "Oh." And I said, "Yeah, we're starting school again." They didn't ever attend college. And now at 50 plus years old, both of them were starting college. The demographics have changed, most definitely. And therefore, our ability to adapt to those demographic changes must be one of those areas that we have to consider. So when we look at the students today, they're different than we were. And attracting them is puzzling because of today's electronic generation who are growing up much differently than we did. They subsist on a diet of smartphones, of computers, of UVU, of MP3s, of social networking, you name it. They have really adapted the learning environment. Or actually, we better be adapting the learning environment. Chalkboards and sterile classrooms are going to be the thing of the past. We make changes every day. We must. We must make changes every day to deal with the expectations of today's students who control so much of their own world with devices that I remember growing up with. Remember Dick Tracy? I do. I think that was the original Droid. Or maybe it was an iPhone. Or maybe they were on Skype already. But nonetheless, this is the world in which our students are coming. Chester Gould saw it all. And we must be that smart as well. Therefore, our greatest value as a university lies in our ability to prepare graduates for a new Michigan and a new economy. We must prepare them for a Michigan we know now and for a Michigan for the future. Liberal education constructs are as important today, if not more so, than it was just a few years ago, maybe a generation or two ago. But it's more important today than ever to create in them the ability to learn, to be critical thinkers, to work in diverse teams, to understand the global nature of the environment upon which they will live and work. That's critical for the success of our students, and we are, in fact, adapting to that. I was so pleased to welcome faculty on Wednesday to the faculty development program focused in on critical thinking. That, to me, is understanding and adapting to these summative outcomes, these learning outcomes that are so important to us. So our ability to anticipate the future, to adapt to change, and lead in times of uncertainty will continue to be the hallmarks of Grand Valley State University. Everything that we are today comes from ability to handle those three words. Anticipate, adapt, and lead. Anticipate, adapt, and lead. That will then create the stability, and from that stability we can innovate, we can take risks, and then start it all over again. Anticipate, adapt, and lead, and create the stability so that we can do it all over again with being innovative and taking no risks from that platform. In anticipating the future, we also need to take note of the present. Appropriations are undependable, and the state has become an unpredictable partner as policy and priorities change from one-term limited legislature to the next. However, at Grand Valley State University, excellent financial management and cost controls will always be part of the Grand Valley way. Never have these skills been so needed than in 2010 when our fellow citizens in Michigan are buffeted by record unemployment and by an economic transition that has caused much disruption, uncertainty. Many of our families of students are hurting. And we cannot carry on as though it doesn't matter to us, and we don't. It does matter to us. So this year, I've asked Grand Valley to sacrifice. Everyone will shoulder a greater share of their health insurance premium. Administration, faculty, and AP staff have accepted a wage freeze, joined by members of ASME and public safety bargaining units. These are the right things to do in these times for our students and their families. And I stand with you, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart for doing them. Thank you. I'm also, though, very, very happy to note that the private support from donors have led us to record high endowments just a few months ago. I don't know about this double dip stuff, but I'm going to be optimistic that we will continue with our strong financial planning, that our endowment will continue to grow. Something important to our students, especially for those that are looking at scholarship opportunities with us. This private support goes beyond just scholarship, but to much of the centers of excellence that we have in relevant areas and to the bricks and sticks that we see all around us. It gives us the flexibility to pursue those educational programs of need, and also gives us the additional financial aid to students in financial times. Our 50th anniversary comprehensive campaign is poised to exceed $50 million goal. Remember, I shared with you 3 years ago, 50 for 50. Well, that's made, in my mind, by a stunning 50% giving level by faculty and staff, a percent nearly unheard of at a public university. That's 3 very nifty 50s, isn't it? 50%, 50 million in our 50th year. Folks like Sean Shearer and Paul Stevenson, Mary Ann Waters, just amazing leadership there. I've always said Grand Valley, in the publics and with those that are ever wanting to listen to me, is a very special place, no doubt. And by 2013, by the financial stability that we have, we'll be in the Mary Ida Pugh Library in Allendale. We will be operational. We'll put a shovel in the ground, as I promised, in 2010, and that's next month. I'm thrilled. Thanks, Kate, your family. It's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity to build for the next generations of leaders for Michigan. And we have the L. And we have the L. William Seidman Building in Grand Rapids. And that will be also operational in 2013, and they'll be offering services and programs second to none. These decisions show our strength and our stability, in addition to the type of students that we are graduating into the workplace and into their communities. In the academic arena, we must be always cognizant, however, of very, very tight budget times, yet retain the flexibility, as I mentioned, the adaptation part, to expand new programs with high demand and add faculty when we embark on some of these new degree programs. Doing well with the resources we have. I'm going to say that again. I'm not a more with less guy, but doing well with the resources we have will keep the rigor and the academic success front and center, exactly where it belongs. As I said at the beginning, it bears repeating, the most key measure of Grand Valley is at the top of the rankings, in the concert with Michigan, Michigan State, Michigan Tech, and frankly, not always in that order. Our combination of high academic standards, our emphasis on liberal education, our great teaching, our scholarship, and the high placement rates of our graduates will continue to produce the talent the state needs so badly. We will do whatever it takes to keep the standards of high and remain attractive to prospective students. But there's more. This year, tuition will constitute approximately 80% of our total revenue, state funding below 20%. Said differently, our enrollment has never been more important. We must expand our market share in Michigan and the Midwest. We must be attractive to FIDIACs, transfer students, and graduate students. We must recruit more international students. We must foster higher completion rates and timely graduation. Clearly, we must retain more of the students who choose Grand Valley. We must be sure that our campuses are welcoming, are tolerant, and are inclusive. Say that one more time. Our campuses must be welcoming, tolerant, and inclusive. Let me say this as clearly as I can. Enrollment is job one. and it's everyone's job. The best recruiting tool ever, in my mind, is when we offer the students the best experiences that we can. We provide those services that we promised. And by doing our jobs over the entire university, if we do those well, we will deliver on the expectations and our students will persist to graduation in a timely manner. The way to recruit is to provide our students, again, the combination of high-quality academics and affordable tuition, and we do call that the grand value. Every time you develop a less expensive way to do a task, the money saved will take the pressure off future tuition adjustments. That will keep Grand Valley affordable now and into the future. Savings, too, is everyone's job. So far, then, I've addressed the past, the present, and the future. Now, let's look inward as we finish up. What can you do, what can we do to help ensure Grand Valley remains the best possible launching pad for our students for the next 50 years? Ask yourself, and have this conversation with yourself. Why am I here? What can I do to help train the next generation of Michigan leaders? What can I do to attract the best possible students to Grand Valley? How can I be a good steward of those who choose us? Those answers reside in each one of you and will be likely different from person to person. No matter your job or responsibilities here at Grand Valley, students are the reason for our work. Students are the reason for our work. So pausing to help a student is always the right thing to do. This came through. My name is Michelle Pitchford. We met a few weeks ago on the 4th of August when I came into your office with my father looking for instruction regarding the informational nursing session that was to be held on that day. I wanted to take a moment and thank you for your time in helping me fix the mistake I made accidentally registering for the wrong session. I was able to attend the correct meeting and receive all the information I needed to take my next step and transfer from Lansing Community College to Grand Valley State University. At this point, I'm excited to say I will be transferring much sooner than I thought, thanks to all the new information I received. Thank you so much, again, Ms. Wardrop, for your help and guidance. I'm very excited to be a Laker and continue my education at GVSU. Next time on campus, I'm going to make it a priority to stop by and thank you personally. Mary Beth and her staff do not interact day to day on students, but that's what it really means in my mind, is step forward and help our students, even though it might not be in your job description per se. So, no matter what your job responsibilities are, students are the reason for our work. Time after time, our graduates tell us that the thing they most appreciated about Grand Valley was their contact with an individual, a faculty member, a staff member, a coach, an upperclassman, or graduate student who became special in their lives, who reached out, who taught them, advised them, assisted them, and mentored them. And most often, these relationships develop in the classroom, of course, but not always. All of us come in contact with students. Be on the lookout. Be helpful. Be a friend. We'll always be measured by delivering on our quality and the services and fulfilling our promises to our students. That's the Grand Valley way. And it's the reason for our continued success. Caring for and about each other, we have created a community sustained from a common purpose and enhanced by trust. And we're all in this together. And it is an honor to be part of this remarkable team, and I thank you for that. Let me finish off just with a metaphor. And as many of you know, I was in the Coast Guard for many years. I was stationed in Port Huron. and I had the opportunity of helping Lakers up and down a number of lakes, whether it be Huron or Michigan, and even going to Superior and out to Erie. But let me tell you, whenever I was a Laker, and we all are Lakers here, and this is our cutter, this is our motor vessel. And what we need to do is understand that we have a track line. It's our strategic plan. That track line will get us from point A to point B. We put this out for 2015, but it takes us even beyond that as we start this 50th year. And we have our mission, clearly embodied in the word of shaping lives, and shaping societies, and shaping those professions. So we have our mission. It's clear. Well, we have to look ahead. We have to have the right people and skill set in order to get us moving and create the atmosphere on board that cutter, on board that Laker, so that we can fulfill the promises of that mission. And we do. We have an outstanding faculty, a dedicated staff, people in the community that believe in us, the donors and others. So we have the right people and the skill sets on board, and continued training so that we can adapt for a future state. And we have resources, and we have to do the best we can with what we have. We may not have all that we would like to have, but what we do have, we need to use them as effectively and as efficiently as we can. And what we have to do always, as pointed out to our legislators, that we have to keep the engines moving. And we have to anticipate the shoal waters. That means big rocks, because that'll ruin your day. You have to anticipate the weather, look ahead. It might be beautiful out there. There was a Laker blue sky this morning. Wasn't that magnificent? But there's also maybe some 90-degree weather coming up, and maybe, depending upon where you're at, might not be in the Great Lakes, but there's a string of 5 hurricanes coming. But we have to take a look. We have to anticipate. We have to make sure that we always keep those engines moving along the track line. But along that track line, you're always going to take those fixes. Are we doing as well as we can be? Are we making the progress that we want? Are we going to get to our destination, or are we going to be sidetracked over here? Well, maybe that sidetrack over here is going to give us some opportunity. We can take that risk and opportunity. We have a stable platform. That's what you look for in a Laker, in a Coast Guard cutter, at a university. And we have a future that's bright. No doubt. I have great confidence in all of us in keeping us with our engines moving to a future that is going to be filled with other opportunities that we have in serving students and serving this state and nation and the rest of the world. We need to anticipate, adapt. We need to lead. And let's look at those innovations and create some opportunities to take the risks and anticipate and adapt and lead again. You are all leaders for Grand Valley State University, and I'm thrilled to kick off this 50th year with you, and we'll see many of you here again at Convocation, and if not, I say God bless you all. Thank you. Okay, well, it's past 11, so we need to get on with the rest of the day. So thank you very much.